All right. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, now I just need to see if I can hear myself coming through. I don't know what the delay looks like. We'll find out. Yeah. Okay. In business. All right, so let's turn the volume up just a little bit on this thing. Is that better? All right. An adventure as always. All right. Yeah. All right. Now we just need let's see. I think we're pretty good. All right. Where was I? I had some things to hit today. Let's go ahead and tackle those. I also probably should drop a link to Discord in case any of you all want to come join me. Let's see here. A live Q&A session while I work on Echoes of the Shattered Ages. If anyone wants to ask a question or pop in and see the epic illustrations getting blended in. Hope to see everyone there. Okay. Oops, nope, edit message. We gotta drop a link. And then go ahead and send now. Okay. And then I'm gonna go here and let's see, somewhere I had this thing. Okay. Added something in the chat. Let's see, I think we can pin that, right? Pin message. Well, I still feel like a noob whenever I am trying to figure out how to use social media stuff. Okay, now for our theme, let's go with exploration, seems appropriate, and maybe mysterious. Oh, someone's popped in. All right. That might be too loud. Actually, I don't even know if that's coming through. All right, perfect. Okay, let's see. So, first up, I noticed we had subclass at the wrong level for the summoner here. So let's go fix that. I think it's going to be a really cool subclass. We've got the constrictor. As long as we're here, we might as well increase the clarity of this coming through. There we go. Okay, let's see. So that was, this should be 17, oops, not 147, 17th level. I think that was the fix that I need to hit there. Let's see. That is the wrong. We want this one. Just do a double check. Let's jump up to Summoner. And then, all right, so we get abilities online at third level, 6th level, 10th level, and 17th level. Okay, so I think we're good there. And then let's just double check this one as well. And theirs come online at 3rd, 6th, 11th, and 15th. Okay. So 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 17th. And then let's go grab the Scion. Double check theirs. We've got 3rd, 6th, 11th, and 15th. All right, perfect. Fix that. Checking off the to-do list. Oh, can't quite yet. We need to go update it in the master. Subclasses, Summoner. All right, this is where the problem originated. Got it. All right, I think that I want to go through and look at the images that are in here and which ones need to be fixed, because that's relatively easy to do while I'm talking with you all. Let's see, so I think I keep debating about this one because we could drop this behind, but I feel like that kind of ruins the perspective there. Let's jump back out here a little. Yeah, I mean, this adds some nice aesthetics there, but honestly, I still think I'm gonna leave this one. You have a little bit of that one peeking out the bottom there. Clarity's not perfect on that gradient, so it's, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Looks like everything is outside of the artistic blending. Okay. Let's see. Got that one. Let's do the same on this one. See how this is looking. Oops. Goodness. That looks okay too. Okay. I like how this came out. I think obviously zoomed in, you lose some of that clarity here, but with a little shop here with illusion magic sort of projecting wares and signs like that, it really does give it a nice vibe for a cyberpunk feel at the same time. Could very easily be pushed one way or the other. Go more high magic, go more cyberpunk. All right, let's see. This dude's also fun too. I love the monster blood on the nose branding here from someone that looks kind of like a monster. Bargain away anything that you want to give. All right, this looks, I don't know if that's just the current view. That might be too flat. Although it's decently far down, so maybe it's okay. It just happens to, undecided. All right. I can't decide either. I might want the space and use that in a later book, or I might put in this killer illustration that just finished for this one. We'll have to decide. All right, this one, first up, definitely needs to be edited. Let's grab, well, not sure what we're doing here. Welcome to the logo. Okay. Let's see. I guess I can keep them both on the same page a little bit. It's gonna be hard to see. I need full screen. All right, I'm gonna move this one to the other one so I can see both while I'm working on them. but we need to carve out a lot more. So there's two ways to approach this. I can have it, well, there's two ways I'm going to approach it. You can have it where it's folding, well, appearing on the page where it either looks like the image is kind of overcoming content on the page, or you can have it where the page looks like it's overcoming content on the image. With the way this guy looks, I'm kind of leaning towards the, well, I don't know. I could go either way. Well, let's see. So if we did the page coming onto the image, maybe that would give it a nice contrast with the way that this guy is already structured. So let's try that. So I got a nice mask on here. So what we're going to need to do is add more and then delete it with the stuff folding over. But since we've already deleted most of it, we can probably jump in. I don't know, I've been digging these smoke brushes lately. So essentially, let me just drop, see what it looks like here. We'll do, sure, blue. You can see kind of what that looks like. It's got some nice swirls and interesting textures in there. And I think that gives it a really nice sort of blending effect. So we'll delete that layer. And then we want to subtract. So I think, let's see, our final version should be somewhere, or we could just have it be a clean break. That's the other option. I wonder if we should do that on this one. Let's see, if I'm looking at the picture, bring this back over. I don't think, well, we can see what our options are, because we could have this instead of going there, although right now it's all on the side. I kind of like that. Yeah, maybe we'll leave this. So we could just do a clean break, because that's easy. Let's see, if we did that, then it looks like this, which does look very clean and nice. I think maybe I'll leave that for this one. This one doesn't need to flow over, so there's no reason to force it. Sometimes less is more. I'm very into looking at subtraction as a solution for some of these things these days. All right, this one definitely could flow over, and there's like a cool rat here joining in on the chorus, so let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, I'm gonna call this one done then. So we'll just we'll not save that because we don't want those updates. This one, all right, let's go in here. Thanks, dude. I'm glad you're digging the work. Yeah, I think the I think all of this stuff is top rate these days. Everything coming through feels really solid. Let's see. I think what I'm gonna do, just looking at this one, get the full picture here. Because I could also shrink it down. Let's go look at that original, see what that looks like. So we need to delete, there's a little bit of something that's still hanging out over here. So let's get rid of that to start, whatever's over there. And then we can have this fold in, I think along the bottom, so it looks like a little bit below that lamp. So like right here-ish. We can have this come in, and then that can go over, not that much, maybe here. Oops, I need to add it. Let's go the other direction. I might want that clear. I can't tell yet. I do think that I'm gonna grab a little bit on this side, and we can have that roll through. See if we need to delete any after, but something right around here. Take a look. All right, that's saved. Let's pull this back over. Yeah, I know you made that dwarf. Yeah, we have one of our fabled artists with us here. Yeah, here's another piece of yours. Although I think one of my favorite in this one might be this one. It has so much character. This is a really solid one. But anyways, back to where we were. Can't get distracted. I'll be honest, not a huge fan of the way that this is flowing over. Let's, I can't remember what, I think it just gets really dark there. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, so that's going to get really dark really fast. And then I think without the full picture, that might be hard to see. So maybe, see how far over had this one gone? So it is okay. But I think, I can't decide. We could go either way here. But I do think I want to take this a little bit more of an angle. Could try pulling that down. Maybe we'll add a little bit more back on that rat so you can tell it's there. Yeah, it always shows up a little bit better on the page because it has that parchment, which is going to give it a little more texture, rather than the translucent sort of indicated background here. But we'll see what that actually looks like. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be too much. I think it is better with the rat. Other option, we have a little more canvas we can work with here. We could always shrink this. Let's see what that looks like. So if we bring that down a little bit. This rat starts going behind there. I don't know. We got a little bit more space up top. I do think we missed some of the background though. So maybe that's better. Play with it for a second. So we can add in, grab a different brush here. Yeah, that looks fine. Some nice texture. Let's see what this one looks like. So we could pull in a little bit of that building. And same here. I don't know, feeling mixed. I like the base comp, but trying to get this piece blended is not, it's not giving me the vibe I'm looking for, at least yet. Maybe we'll get there. All right, let's see how we're looking with this version. I think I do like it with the stairs and a little bit more of that background. We have the space, we can add some more background in, so that's nice because I do think that did turn out nicely. I think we'll grab down, oops, invert that. We can start with that, and then we're going to delete just a teeny bit off of here. So we should be able to just start out a little bit here, get that a little more blended in. There. See what that looks like. Refresh that. Yeah, I agree. I think more background looks better here. I might even bring this in a little bit more since we can have that blend over. Grab just a little bit more of this. Let's grab another brush here. Oh, one step at a time. Let's see. Oh, what just happened? Oh, there we go. Adobe. Always scaring the crap out of me. think if that's gonna have, oh, that's the building's wall right there. Okay, if we're gonna have any of that, we need to have all of that, because otherwise it's probably part of why it looks funky. Yeah. Okay, so if we have that, that actually, maybe that'll clean this up a little bit. Okay, let's try that. I think that'll kind of tie this together, because it was, yeah, there we go. I think that's starting to look pretty good. So that would look something like this. And then it would disappear into the fold on the physical copies. Digital, you'd still have that separation between the pages. Depending on how you're looking at it, you might only see one at a time. But I think that's starting to look a lot better. So question, I think we might want to just like have a little bit more of this wall in this corner here. I know what this is, so I put this together, but I think it'd be a little easier if there was even just a little teeny bit more here. So we can do, and then it won't be as harsh of a corner either, which I think is good for the, yeah, I think getting that whole lantern in there. Okay. Let's try that. Just a smidge too much there. Or we could have the text shift over, but I don't know if I want to do that. I think just delete a little teeny bit off there. So invert that. All right. Snagged off just that little teeny bit there. Okay. And then come back over here. Let's take a look. That looks pretty good. Okay. I did do this. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't see any actual overlap in the text. It does get close. Nice fade in there. I kind of like the billowy sort of effects going on down here. Could have this fade in down there a little more, but I think that'll be pushing it. This wall being clear there does bring that together way better. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got those 2, 3, 4. I'm leaving this one because I did have people with that. Several people asked for that sword to be coming through, so we'll keep that. I need to clean this up a little bit. That is writing on there. I wonder if I used to have this one over here. I don't know if it'd fit. We could try. If we brought this down, what would that look like? Need another line here. So that. Yeah, that gives us better. I think that'll give us a better feel there. Let's take a look. I don't remember exactly what the part looks like that I edited out. Let's see. So. Yeah, I think that could work. Yeah, and then we can capture a little bit more of the purple trail in there, but I think we have to delete. Let's see, how much do we need to drop? Just slightly below this, actually. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase more to start and then come back to keep that vibe of the illustration coming over the page. Let's see. Oops, wrong direction. Yeah, I think that's too much. Let's shrink that brush a little bit. Okay, so this should be, I think, more than plenty. That actually might be a little high now I'm looking at it. Let's see. Let's drop that down just a little bit more. Make sure that looks good, and then we'll add it back in. Okay, yeah, so we can go up about to the tip of her wing on this side, and then about to that part of like the clothing on that side. Let's do that. So what does this one look like? Okay, got some good fun textures in here. Actually, could we... If we could just leverage this chunk. It's not quite. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at... Okay, so we set up to the tip of her wings. That would be approximately... Oh, almost to the wrong one. Approximately here. Okay, and then on this side... I think this looks pretty good. We can get a little bit of a slant going in there. We could go up to that fabric. So that's approximately here. Something like that. All right, let's take a look. All right, that's pretty good. If we can capture a little bit more of that sort of psionic effect, I think that would be ideal. So let's go through that just a little further if we can. Let's get a little bit of this one, I think. Okay, let's see, is that too much over the top there? If not, yeah, just a little teeny bit. All right, so we could get rid of just a little bit right there. I think, let's look at the performance settings. Yeah, so just a little bit right there. And then that should be pretty good. And then I might want to add a little bit more texture there just as long as I'm at it. Over here, I don't know, what do you all think? It's not on it, but it technically looks like it's on it when you scroll out just because of that optical illusion there. I think I might just want to clean it just a little teeny bit. Improve that readability. I mean, if you can't read it, then it doesn't really matter how cool the book looks. All right, let's clean both those. So let's see that one. Need to get rid of, where's that? Okay, so that's like right here. Let's shrink this down, go the other direction, and then we just need to carve out this spot right here. Okay, so that's the first one. I think we need a little more. Take it off right here. Okay. There we go. I think that's okay. And then we need to take out this one over saving. Let's see, so I think that's the one. Looks like there's a little bit here. Might be a little high, so we'll snag that while we're at it. Okay. I think we need to go down into it a little bit just to get that last piece out. So that's, just double check. Yeah, so that's right here. All right, perfect. I think that looks good. I keep debating. I think I got to take off a little bit by that K. So just that little bit that comes up right there. So that, let's see. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yep, that does it. All right, perfect. Yeah, even from here, it doesn't look like it's over it. Looks like it's close, but not over it. Okay. This one, I think we're good. Unless there were just any random artifacts left. Oh, this one has a spacing issue, but that has nothing to do with the picture. I got to review the text on this one. There's a little bit of feedback from the technical editor I still need to go through. All right, we got to come back to that and fix that spacing. This one, we're... Is there anything sitting over this? just a little bit. Let's go modify that. All right. Thread weave, done. Okay, so this is about coming out from her hand right there-ish. Okay, so let's take a look. So I think we just need like a little teeny bit like right here. Okay, refresh that. I think that looks good. Yeah, got the nice billowy effects going on. Work super well with the sort of fear, darkness kind of effect. All right. Okay, this one needs some work. Is this? I can't remember. Did I get the PSD in here? I did. Okay, we can do some editing. So first up, let's drop this behind. Why is it so high up? I don't know. All right, we're gonna stick this in the background to start. So we've got our nice things going on here. We could always make him bigger if we want on the scene. This isn't like terribly far off, but let's go take a look at this. It looks like I'm not sure why there's stuff over that. I don't know if there is some kind of a, let's see, what is this? Oh, this is just darkening it. It definitely darkens that spot too. Okay, well, let's see. If we did, let's do all of these, group those up. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Tex. I'm sure if he's into this kind of stuff, then if he's got questions, I'm here. Okay, let's see. We could do, let's jump back to our original. We could definitely do something carving out this part that's pretty close there. Let's see, if I look at the image, we are already at max, so we can't get more, but we could increase the size here, because we could, let's see, what's the ranger look like? I think we get rid of a little bit of the bottom. There's not a ton of content there. So if we brought that more into play, like this, and then shifted him over a bit, we'd have to delete a little bit of the building there, but well, honestly, I think I do like him. We're not losing too much. Let's see, because we've lost. Let's shrink that back up. Lose a little bit of the plants and that, but the bottom texture, like if we can keep those arches and stuff, I don't think we lose too much of the scale here. I do like having him be a little bit larger on the scene. Let's see, if we went up, what's that look like? Yeah, I don't think we want to lose any of that bow because that kind of breaks the composition there. But if we had that kind of centered in there and then drug this down, what does that look like? Let's see. So I think that looks pretty good. We've got him nicely framed, kind of with the natural graphics on the page. We've got good architecture, height sort of visibility here, where we definitely get that sense that he's kind of perched up top on something, though there's clearly still stuff taller than him. I just got to clean up a little bit of this stuff on the page itself to wrap that around. We could go two ways with that. One, we could do like we did earlier, where we try to make these flatter, and then we have more of that stuff. Or we can keep this so you've got like the opening and then just almost completely wipe out, actually probably do wipe out all of this over here. And we'd lose that stuff too. That's probably okay. Let's take a look. Okay, so we know for sure we've got to get rid of a bunch of that darkness because that is kind of hiding the text. So let's grab that. That's too big. Shrink this down. All right. think we're just going to lose all of that. So we're going to take off a little bit more than we need to, and then we'll add it back. So I think somewhere around here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Might even need to do a little more because that's not enough room for it to flow back onto the page. So let's do another. That's too much. It's starting to erase a little bit of him. Still okay though. Let's go. Shrink this brush down. A little too much. Okay. Just delete. Delete, delete, delete. Add, add, add. All right. That's off. Let's go ahead and add it back in. We'll just do a double check. Yeah, so that looks good. So now we can have this stuff flowing back on. We can start at the top. And then it looks like right about the spyglass is where we need to have that head over. So let's do that. All right, brush time. Desert vibe, maybe we could go, oops, where did we go? We could go with, no, not a glow. Don't I have, there's powder. Okay, let's try one of these powder brushes. I don't like that one. So when I'm looking at the brushes, I am looking for, see, this one has some interesting textures. So like the section on the bottom here, that looks kind of neat. So if we were to use that, that would give us some interesting things. What about, I don't really like that one. These ones don't have as many interesting texture pieces to it, so it's not going to have as cool of a variation. Actually, this one, let's try this one. This one looks like it might have some stuff. So we need to paint back on, so let's change that. And then we'll start with something like, that's so faint. It's really hard to tell that it's, well, before I make a judgment call, let's go take a look. Yeah, I mean, you got a little bit of interesting texture right at the bottom there, but otherwise, all right, let's, I don't know. None of these look like they have, this one might. That looks kind of cool. Let's, oh, that one hangs out really far though. I don't know. I might go back. Well, I'm going back. Let's go back to smoke. See what we got here. Wow, that's a giant. Why did it come in so enormous? Here we go. Let's I think that goes over too far. I don't remember if we can get that whole tower in there. Let's take a look. Actually, yes. Yes, we can. Okay, so that's okay. So, let's see, we said spyglass was about the right height. Something like that. Let's take a look. It's pretty close. I don't even know if we need to change this with this sitting over the top because it's got that opaque background with that blue. Obviously we need to change this side, but that might be good. Kind of like it. It's got a good Indiana Jones vibe. Let's get rid of the color coming in on this side, so we're gonna have to delete some of this. See, I think this might do it. I don't know, that might have been actually, I don't even know if that was enough. No, we need to go pretty much all the way up to this border here. All right, let's see. Might be a little bit that I can't see here. Let's take a look. All right. Not quite. We still need to get rid of a little bit of that. So let's grab more here. I don't like to do the same brush and like over and over in the same spot. It looks like if there's any chance of finding a repeating pattern, it just detracts, at least for me. It's something I'm not interested in. So it should look, actually, let's take this a step further, go back a little bit further than we want, and then I think we can have the opening sort of go the other direction and fold into the scene. Just a little teeny bit though, like this. I can fill that opening up at the same time. Okay, let's take a look. Do we want more? Probably. Well, I don't know. If we go more, I guess we can get the rest of that opening. So we can grab that, and then this has some interesting stuff up here too, so we can grab, can't go higher than that, but we could go, I think we're still in the scene. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think this body mod looks pretty cool too. Definitely has like a futuristic vibe for this one, a little more than some of the other ones, but could also very easily be like a series of like glowing glyphs on some sort of more like a metal plate or something on there. Or it could go the opposite direction where this guy is, I don't know, full-on cyborg or Terminator-esque sort of thing. Skin's been ripped off, you know, that kind of thing. All right, let's see. This one is done. Those colors actually there, or is that just artifacts left over from? I think we got it. I think we actually do have a couple changes. All right, let's go clean those up real quick. Let's see. So. And delete a little bit off of the end there, and there's just like a little bit of junk in general in here. So let's clear all that out. No need to clutter that more than it needs to. All right, let's see. So I'm just gonna grab some nice feathering, feather. Okay, and then this piece is where we need to wrap that out. So we'll go like this. I think we need to flatten. Oh, I don't like that angle. Let's let's do it like this. There. It doesn't have as weird of a looking kind of hook there. Did I save that? I did. All right. Okay, I think that's looking good. It's all off of there. It's got a nice sort of like upward slant going with that kind of follows the continuing trajectory if this guy was to keep moving up. This is going to be a really cool subclass. I really like, even at the level 3. So when you get that sneak attack, well hidden, dealing that extra damage, but you have that extra way to hide. So whenever there's that distraction, you can use a reaction, which should be pretty solid. Yeah. So I think you could really strategically use this where you run behind a pillar or something, and then rather than using your cunning action to hide, you could use your reaction to do this, and then you can still keep your cunning action for extra movement or whatever it is you're going to use, or your bonus to make a second attack. Yeah, lots of opportunities there. Be fun to pick up with really just dipping 3 levels to get that plus cunning action and expertise in the rogue would be solid for pretty much any character. All right, I think this one is good. Let's double check. Okay, that looks good. think this one's also good. Yeah, that pulls back a little bit. I think that's okay. I do like this billowiness here too. I think that has a really fun texture coming in, especially coming from the creature, the construct. All right, so that stuff looks great. Then coming down here, I thought this was good. Let's double check that. It didn't get converted. Why not? All right. Fast display. Yeah, I know. All right. High quality. It doesn't look the high quality version though. I feel like, especially like the textures right here, they look. Oh wait, why does this need to be refreshed? Was this edited? Oh, yeah, that's way better. Okay, I don't know what the issue was, but that already looks good. Okay. Oh, you know, I wonder, is this thing sitting over a little bit? No, it's not. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. This is an awesome illustration as well. That one really came together nicely. Okay, so that stuff, I should clean up that top bit, but this all looks good. Then we're on to spells. I need to figure out what picture I'm going to put there. I got a few options, and I might need to make another one still. Okay, so this section is still work in progress. Done. That's good. I think this is probably okay. I felt very mixed about her, but honestly, I do like the way that the final version turned out. She does not quite fit, though. Also, do we want her... I don't know if we want her behind or not. We could. Let's take a look. If we drop her behind, kind of coming out from behind the fold here versus... let's drop that back up. I think I'm going to have her sit on top. I think that looks better. If anyone has any varying opinions on that, let me know. Okay, so if we... do I want to shrink this or shift this? Her sleeve's going to disappear in... Let's take a look at where the markings are. As long as her face is in that side, I think we're good. Yeah, I definitely think her hair sitting over this is better. Oh, that's an issue. We need to shift her down. So there's a red line around the outside, which is effectively like as big as the manuscript could be. And then inside that, I'll just zoom in here. So you've got this red line here, and then there's a line inside of that that's this black line. And the expectation is that every page is going to be cut to that size, and that way they're all uniform in size. So anything in between those two things, you should just expect will disappear. So that's why all of these graphics, like the page decorations, are designed where wherever they're cut, they should still look nice and fit together. And then same thing with the center. That fold's going to disappear into the book, so those need to look nice wherever it captures that. So if we grab her, though, I can see there's a gap here, and we want to make sure it goes exactly up to the edge, which means we need her to be up to that outer edge. Okay. So that might help us. She needs to be a little teeny bit smaller because I don't want to lose this stuff and I don't want it over the text. So we'll shrink from this side up here. Just shrink her just a teeny bit. Just a teeny bit more. Yeah, this is a solid picture. I like it. Okay, so that's all in there. Her eye should be safe here, so you might lose a little bit of that hair, but I don't even think you'll lose that much. It'll just look like it folds into the page, which, as a master of illusions, I think that should be just fine. Okay, cool. It's looking good. All right. Yeah. Okay. Colossus still needs to be done. The Infiltrator. I need to follow up with Nate. I wonder where that one's at. Should have that sketch any day here. Those are good. This one I don't need to do anything for because we did the full page spread. Man, some of these things are creepy if you were coming around that dark alleyway face to face with one of these interesting creatures. There is something that's hanging over, shoving stuff down. Let's fix that. There's an issue somewhere. Maybe it's just coming from here. Those might need to be, well, this definitely needs to be shortened if possible, so we'll look at updating. Oh yeah, I remember, because I had to add in, what was that? Veil of Flesh. The Infiltrator is treated as a humanoid for spells and effects that specifically target humanoids rather than a construct. Okay, that should work. Okay, these ones are good. That looks weird. Does that actually look like that? No. Okay. Cool. This turned out really cool as well. I really like that one. Honestly, I keep saying that about all of them because they're all so cool. Okay. Good. I like this one sitting over the top. All right. We've got a candidate for update. We don't want that background on here, so let's fix that. Oops. Not what I'm looking for. Oh, yeah, the document needs to be updated. I need to review feedback first. Okay, here we go. So, let's dive in. What is making... That's the background. Okay, let's see. Let's just start with deleting the background off because I don't want one. Okay, so that's cool. I'll increase the size here a bit. I think, I don't really mind, I don't know if I want that top part to go underneath though. I don't mind if his little like lash tentacle sort of things go under there, but I don't want the rest. That's going to be in the way. What are we going to do here? So we're going to make it smaller. We can delete part of that off. Might be able to twist it a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe that's the route. Because we're still gonna need to make it smaller, but we want to make it as small. Yeah, because we could still. We could even bring it this way too. Can't bring in enough though. I don't know if we can twist it anymore without it starting to look. Does it still look okay? Yeah, I guess so. Actually, let's change that to high quality too while we're looking at it. I do kind of like it where it gives the sense of it being a little bit big if it's going behind both of those, because it's always hard to figure out like what's the best way. Like this is a huge construct, whereas this one's only medium. But I don't know that I want to shrink this guy. He fits nicely here, and you get some good details on him. But it could also be that this guy itself isn't that big, but the tentacles, they take up the ton of space, and that's what does this. Oh, you know, I think this guy needs a climb speed. Oops, it's not. It's climb 30 feet. Climb 30 feet. Double check that. Anything else in here have a climb speed? I don't think so. Oh, this guy does. Climb 45. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Oh wait, that's a comma, not a period. All right. I think this will be a fun creature to fight too. Curious how other people will encounter it, but the idea of this, like, well, I was gonna say gargantuan, but huge construct with a speed that matches the players but the ability to shoot this slowing ray. It doesn't slow them by a ton, but slows them by enough that it'll be able to keep catching up to them, especially if it drops that containment field, especially if they don't know what it means when they run into it. I think, yeah, this will be, and then being able to do those grapples. Yeah. Should be good. Honestly, though, I think this is one of the funnest, funnest, most fun anti-spellcasters, where having that mana club with, if it's hitting the same creature with both of those, and then healing by spending one of their spell slots, that is going to be a creature that people are taking down. All right. This is pretty close, but we're obviously not quite there. We can shift down just a little bit. That's too much. All right. But that's still... All right, I think we should just shrink this just a little teeny bit. We'll go up this way. And then we could take a look at what is turning it just a little more look like. Yeah, I think that still looks good. The leg is not quite perpendicular yet. So I don't think it has that strange of a vibe, even though that we've tilted it. Especially since the head, it looks like it's just leaning back a little bit. That should be okay. All right, and then that coloring is just too close there still. We need to move that just a little bit. All right, we'll shrink just a little teeny bit there, and then we should be able to go up if we want. Yeah, that gets a little too close on his little cannon thing. What do you think? Leave it? I think I gotta clean up just a little teeny bit of that. I think the printer will throw in air too, because it'll see a little bit of this color over that text. Could also try shifting just a little bit. I think that's too much. Okay. Calling it. Good. Move on. Yeah, I think that page composition is going to be fun. All right. I think I got the blood pools working nicely on this one. So he's a little close to the opportunist word. Let's dial that in. I think it's still okay. This has a... I think it has a fun feel with the blood actually pooling on top of the stat block there, giving it that super dangerous vibe. I do see some of the text got shifted though. Where did that start? Down here? Yes. Oh no. This lore is missing. Well, all right, one thing at a time. Finish tackling images today. We'll have another day for that. Oh, I also noticed the time. I got to drop in a minute. Let's do one last one, if we've got one. Let's take a look at this. Okay, that looks good. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay, I need to add those sidebars I was planning. That looks a little funky. I don't know that I'm a huge fan of how that one ended up turning out. Do we want to move that? Let's see, we can make this a little smaller to start. Let's see. What if we shifted this up? All right, so one thing that I never like to do if I can avoid it, if you have bullets, you should keep those lined up, because as soon as they're not lined up, then it makes it harder to read. And I am not interested in it being more difficult to read. All right, let's see. I think we could shift this. Oops, not what I want to do. But maybe rotate just a little bit. Yeah, I still can't quite fit that in here, but really close. Also trying to decide the merits of having this text well below this one. I don't think this should be totally on its side. We could rotate it though, so it's not on its side at all. So if we did something like this, I don't think it was intentional, but I do kind of like how it forms a question mark. Is this a good idea? All right, let's see. I don't think we'll be able to fit all the text is the issue. I think that's probably why I rotated in the first place. Let's take a look. We can't. We're really close, but we can't. Yeah, so we would need sum of common to be on this one. I don't know if I want to split that. Let's take a look. All right. I don't know. Maybe not. It's a little meta, but I like the common into the giant question mark with the potion within the details on the other side. That's kind of funny. Maybe we'll lean into that. All right, yeah, let's leave that. I like it. Okay, that looks good. All right, very rare. I did make a box here, so those bullets line up. That last effect is a little longer, but I think that still should work. That looks good and good. I said I was only going to do one more, but you know, it's just hard to stop when you're in the groove. That looks okay. Oh, and there's everyone's name. Okay. Yeah, now we got some backup stuff here I got to deal with still. Yeah. A few more things. Okay. Getting close. Getting close, everyone. Good work. Okay. I think I'm going to drop here. This looks good. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining me, hopping in. Some good feedback in the chat. And yeah, if you have other questions, feel free to drop them on the video and I will take a look at those. And always open in Discord if you have anything else. Anyways, talk later all. All right, bye. How do you end this thing? Where did my video go? Dun, dun, dun.